In my January video, I mentioned the Saturn cycle in Merrick Garland's chart was likely to launch him into significant actions in 2022 because it is this year when Saturn transits through Aquarius and locks into the exact degrees of his natal sun in Scorpio via square. I also said that Jupiter traveling through Pisces adds an important measure of upswing and good fortune to any of his actions because from Pisces, a water sign just like Scorpio, you get a trine, which in most cases is harmonious, supportive, and fortunate. And as an aside, I should mention, in reply to those who have been ever so disappointed with Garland's response to Trump's criminality to date, meaning that more than a year since the ex-criminal president left office, Garland has declined to attempt any kind of investigation, much less a charge, to seek accountability for the more than obvious crimes the Mar-a-Lago mendacious cockroach committed during his tenure. But, astrologically speaking, 2021 would not have been particularly fruitful for Garland to attempt such a thing because Jupiter was traveling through Aquarius, which is a cycle square to his sun, and the classic year in the 12-year Jupiter cycle when a person will expand into territory he would be wise not to. So perhaps Garland is wiser than many think, and in any case, to my understanding, putting astrology aside, directly investigating, much less charging the Mar-a-Lago thug, the very year we succeeded in booting him out of the White House would have been politically unwise. Very unwise. But now we're in 2022, and Garland looks about to be faced with the findings of the January 6th committee, a group of Democrats and what appear to be two of the very, very few honest Republicans left, seeming quite determined to bring the portly orange criminal to account, something which is going to put a lot of pressure on Garland to take action. Or you could posit the argument in the alternative form by suggesting this might have been Garland's intention all along, to keep himself and the Department of Justice out of any investigation in order to avoid the appearance of partisanship, but instead seek the cover of a separate government inquiry to then launch into action, that separate body being the January 6th committee, which Garland fully knew about since last summer. So maybe, just maybe, Merrick is a lot wiser and craftier than many impatient, outraged Democrats think. But in any case, in the previous video I stated this was likely to be the year because of Saturn and Jupiter, and looking at those two cycles, a key moment in time has to be near the end of this month when Jupiter and Saturn are transiting in the 21-22 range of Pisces and Aquarius, which in the sky are adjacent signs, but which in Garland's chart means a simultaneous square to his Sun from Saturn in Aquarius and a trine to Jupiter from Pisces. This is where the obligation of Saturn meets the opportunity of Jupiter, or in layman's terms, where the rubber meets the road. I'm reluctant to try to pinpoint exact dates because it is my experience that even though from time to time astrological cycles can produce mind-blowing timing and synchronicities, most of the time events happen within a range of days to even weeks within the expected pressure of the cycles. But I still think I can say with some confidence that the last days of March and early days of April of 2022 are looking like showtime for Garland. And given that by April 12th, the Jupiter-Neptune at 23 plus Pisces is due to be fully in Trump's face, and since via the logic of my own argument you are quite likely to feel that kind of pressure ahead and after the exact date, you can put all of this together to suspect that late March and early April might just turn out to be very interesting and entertaining. Well, for those of us interested in real justice, if you're a Trumper on the rubber meets the road adage, what I see is potential road rage coming up. But what can I say? If you are venal and especially stupid enough to follow and support a traitorous criminal, then I'm sorry to say I have zero pity for you. Take a deep breath, or take a Valium, or jump off a cliff for all I care.